Hello friends, this is Jay Hendricks with Powerful Thought Daily. Today I wanted to talk with you about why Leo Gura and Actualize.org is an ideology. Now, I'm going to read a thing I wrote to make this more clear. So I make this video in response to every hardcore Leo Gura follower. Why do I make one video for this? Well, it's because they all think the same way and say the same things. And I don't have time to have the same discussion over and over again. When I'm talking to them, I'm really talking to an ideology, not a person with unique perspectives. If you are possessed by an ideology, you do not think for yourself. The ideology does the thinking for you, and you have denied your individuality. These are 4 things every hardcore Leo Gura follower essentially says to me. Number 1, concepts have no value and nothing can be understood, so there's no valid reason to communicate. Number 2, because meaning cannot be expressed, there is no hierarchy of value, which means mastery, competence, relationships, communication, collaboration, and progress cannot exist. Number 3, every concept of the mind is a resistance to the perfect totality of the mind. And number 4, they consider their set of ideas to be totally right or totalitarian and deny the need to continually understand. So, a really good image of this is from my friend Joseph Maynor. I would check out his channel. His channel is called Joseph Maynor and Friends. And the image he has is, it's like Leo's sitting on top of a mountain and just sniping down every time someone challenges him. He's just... It's a really good image. It's really funny. And it's true. He's identified God with his mind so much that no matter what you say to him, he'll just dismiss what you're saying and you can't really talk to him about anything. That's a totalitarian. So, when stating these ideas, they play the ideological domination game. They seek to be right and do not seek to collaborate with others because collaboration and others do not exist. So, Jordan Peterson covers this distinction between ideology and religious belief, ideological and religious belief really well, so I'd check out his videos on that, but I'll break it down in my own words. An ideology is a set of ideas that only tells one side of the story. It is unknowingly being stuck in a duality and only focusing on one side of that duality, thus confusing that side as the absolute. The example of this would be identifying only with the internal world and denying the external world, which is what Leo Gura does. An ideology is inherently a domination game because the other side of the duality, which also expresses aspects of reality, will constantly challenge the totalitarian or absolutist set of ideas, and therefore each must be the enemy of the other. So it pits one side of a duality against another. Leo Gura has not risen above the more abstract duality of self and other. He has made the other himself. So in these most extreme cases, ideology can be conceptualized as fusing 2 extremes into one misdirected view of reality. And I have a video on this if you are interested. It's entitled How Leo Gura Gets Confused, I believe. So, I'll break down the example really quick. So, masculinity is the viewpoint of the self, I would say, and femininity is the view of the other. And we contain both in us, and our goal is to balance these. So, extreme masculinity would be there is no other, and extreme femininity would be I am the other. And Leo Gura has fused these two extremes into one. So there is no other, and I am the other. So it's the same thing with extremist leftist ideas and extremist right ideas, like Nazi Germany and communist Russia. They're so extreme that at some point they go around the circle and meet together at the same insanity. They were both genocidal. They both completely demolished their countries. And they started off as going this way from each other, but they met at the center at some point, and it's a extreme synthesis. So it's an illusion of synthesis. Okay, so that's what ideology is in a nutshell. It tells one side of the story. So a truly religious idea will tell both sides of the story. And this is why books like the Bible are so paradoxical. Studying these kinds of books with intent will help you see both sides of the story simultaneously and gain a more non-dual perspective. Of course, ideological beliefs are formed from the Bible all the time and labeled religious. And this is where dogma and extreme fundamentalism comes from. Psychologically speaking, whatever we place as our highest value operates exactly the same way as God does for the religious person. Your perception of reality will rearrange according to your highest value. That's kind of a paraphrase of Jordan Peterson's words. Therefore, Leo Gura and his hardcore followers place their own minds as their God, which they see as God's mind, but it is really their own mind, which is a God's mind. It is a form of solipsism that results from premature exposure to higher states of consciousness through heavy psychedelic use, which can make you misinterpret your experience. Therefore, they are only seeing one side of the story. They only see their own minds as the only reality. The other side of the story is that there are, in fact, other individuals that exist outside of their minds. And those individuals do not reside in God's mind. Their mind. The images of others exist in our minds, but the individuals themselves do not. They are mistaking the image of the person as the real person. And since that image is a projection in their own minds, they think that other person is them. They don't find any value or meaning in words because to them, words and concepts are attempts to resist the totality of their own God mind, or the God mind in their view. They reject words, but are ironically so attached to the uselessness of words and concepts that they can't see them from the outside, or use them as tools to communicate understanding because understanding doesn't exist, or you can't understand, or I don't know. Understanding is useless. It's just a concept. So Christ is symbolized, this is metaphorically speaking, Christ is symbolized as the Word. And so the hardcore Leo Gura followers and their Luciferian consciousness, metaphorically speaking, reject the Christ or the Word or the understanding by rejecting words and communication, which are fundamental to building the kingdom of God on earth, metaphorically speaking. Therefore, totalitarians believe there is no use in understanding, or that seeking to understand is pointless. My conclusion is that actualized.org breeds totalitarians, which is antithetical to enlightenment itself. So that's my response. If I find, it's very easy to find who is a Leo Gura hardcore follower because they say the exact same things. They're possessed by an ideology. They're stuck in a very abstract duality. And if I see a comment that is like that, I'm just going to refer you to this video. because I can't have the same discussion over and over again, especially when there's no intent to understand anything and there's no intent to collaborate at all. They're just there to dominate and tell you you're wrong. Anyway, that's all for today. This is Powerful Thought Daily. I'm Jay Hendricks. Please like and subscribe. Share this video if you can. I think it's an important problem that needs to be addressed in the minds of Leo Gura's followers. And the message that I am providing is that you have an inner guru within yourself that you must contact and become. You must become a master yourself. You can't pine over and submit to a guru outside of yourself. You have to develop that independence, that authority, that autonomy within you. So that's the point of this channel. You can take all of these things as my own take, my own perspective. That doesn't mean it's right. You have to find these things out for yourself. So don't just trust everything I'm saying. But if it rings true to you, that could be a good clue. So, research it on your own. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm Jay Hendricks. Like I said, this is Powerful Thought Daily. Have a good day. Bye.